Today I'm going to give you an exercise that I have been using to warm up. Basically, since I started getting serious about playing guitar, it's sort of something I developed on my own, but I'm sure I could point to 1,000 influences. I've had some great teachers along the way. It's super simple and it's really fun. I have put out a video lesson in the past that involves the most fun exercise. It makes you want to play. This one could be like another kind of 2.0 version of that. It really makes you want to pick up the guitar, and it involves musicality, which is important for exercises. I'm not a big fan of just running scales to a click, although that is beneficial. There is more fun to be had when there's music involved. I have a really cool backing track. We're at 120 BPM. You can do this exercise at any BPM, and its challenges will be different depending on that BPM. So I'm gonna give you a breakdown of how you can apply this to your guitar playing, and it's just a great way to warm up, like I mentioned. So we're gonna go in order of warm-up stages because you don't necessarily want to come out of the gate blazing fast. You want to ease into it. So pick a scale. I'm going to use the natural minor scale, F sharp, just to keep things a little interesting. So with that sound in your ear, I want you to play quarter notes in that scale anywhere on the guitar neck. This is going to not only warm up your muscles with some simple quarter notes, but also warm up your mind by finding the right scale tones across the guitar neck. Any position of the scale, and this is meant to span across the whole neck, so not just this position. Maybe you come up. And you can play multiple notes on the same string to get around. Quarter notes, 120 BPM, F sharp, natural minor. So that's pretty simple. That's step one. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, quarter notes, but you cannot play two notes on the same string back to back. So a slowed down version of that would be like. It's harder than it looks, I promise you. Challenge here, obviously, having to switch strings with each note that you play. Not only are you working on your muscle memory, kind of breaking out of little boxes that you tend to get stuck in, especially with natural minor and pentatonic type stuff, you also are working on your technique. So when you string skip, there's a lot of different mechanics being trained in the picking hand, and you're also working on muting in the fretting hand and a little bit of muting in the picking hand as well. Again, we're still warming up here. We're not blazing fast. It's more of a mental stimulation more than anything. But this is really hard, especially at 120 BPM, and it's gonna sound good no matter what because you're playing scale tones. So 120 BPM, quarter notes, the F sharp minor scale, you have to play a different string with each subsequent note. Good luck. So now we're gonna get a little bit more simple, but we're gonna start ramping up the speed in the picking hand and fretting hand, respectively. We have eighth notes. So this is pretty self-explanatory, right? Eighth notes instead of quarter notes, just double the speed of what we were going with. And eighth notes at 120 isn't terribly hard. Again, you can adjust the BPM to your comfort level. 120 BPM, eighth notes, no restrictions, just stay within that natural minor scale. Not quite getting to the 16th note realm, because that's pretty quick at 120 BPM, but 8th note triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty quick, and that's as quick as we're gonna go in this video. Same thing, no restrictions other than stick to that rhythmic pattern. 120 BPM, 8th note triplets, any scale tone in the natural minor scale. Second to last thing here, we have a 2-string restriction. So you can only play on a string set of your choosing, 2 strings though. So I'm gonna choose the B and E string. So I cannot play any notes other than on this B and E string, sticking to the scale tones. And I'm not gonna put an 8th note or quarter note restriction on this one either. So play any scale tones in that natural minor scale, but you can only play on the B and E strings. And what I find this does is, again, eliminates tendencies, but also makes you play a little bit more melodically because you don't have those little patterns to default to. You know, again, this is kind of addition by subtraction. Taking things away can kind of put you in a bit of discomfort, but ultimately improves your musicianship. So 120 BPM, sticking to that natural minor scale, but you can only play on the B and E strings. Finally, put it all together. No restrictions, but take what you've warmed up with and maybe some ideas that you may have come up with as a result of these sorts of exercises and see how it impacts your playing. I find that doing this sort of warm up and then getting into the super fun Guitar Hero improvisation can really put you in a healthy headspace, musically speaking. So without further ado, let's see what I come up with. I'm just gonna go off the cuff and improvise something based on my warm-ups and whatever comes to mind. Well, there you have it. The warm-up exercise that I've been using forever and will continue to use. Hopefully you can incorporate it in your own practice routine, your warm-up routine. And that's it. If you like my teaching style, check out Guitar Super System. Tens of thousands of students enrolled so far. You can subscribe and you know, get the annual pass if you want to, or try it out for a month. Unsubscribe if you don't like it. Appreciate your support. Until next time.